Woo, my first intro. I'm learning. Hey everybody, so far my videos have just been about how to fly, but today we're going to blow some shit up. As usual, we're going to look at some controls. First, the weapon action switch. Just type WEA. When this pops up, bind these up, down, left, and right, and do the trigger second detent. Next, you need sight select switch left and up. And last, we want to bind single scan under the FCR. Okay, in the cockpit, we need to set up some stuff. On either display, press the WPN page on the bottom left, then ASE at the top. On the top right, where it says search, push the button and it will open the drop down. Select off. If you don't turn this off, your display will swap to the ASE page anytime a radar emission is detected, which is most often the worst fucking time. If the aircraft page showing torque keeps popping up, that is 100% user error and it cannot be disabled. Looking at the armament page, you must have the MMA and the Lima Hellfires. In the cockpit, press FCR on the left display, then C-scope on the top left. C-scope's going to allow us to see targets on the HMD that the FCR picks up. Next, press UTEL in the top right corner of the FCR display, then MMA unpin on the bottom right, and finally FCR bit override on the left side center. Press FCR again on the display to bring up the radar cone. I like working with the FCR on the left side and the video feed from the TADs on the right, but you can do this however you want. Alright, the workflow is as follows. Turn the master arm on by the pilot's left knee. Press sight select switch left to make the FCR page soy, and you will now see symbology appear on that display that wasn't there before. Press the FCR single scan button and allow the FCR to finish its sweep. While the FCR is performing the sweep, press the weapon action switch right to bring up the Hellfires. If Death Scheme shows up on the bottom right corner of the HMD, press the weapon action switch again. When Low Owl appears on the HMD, all you gotta do is pull the trigger and the Freedom Dispenser is gonna go to work. To use the gun with the FCR, press the weapon action switch up. If shit goes sideways and you need to slave the gun to the crosshair on your HMD, press sight select switch up. And the weapon action switch left again will take you back to the FCR control. Alright, that pretty much covers it. Considerations. When you scan with the FCR, you're going to show up on EWR systems, and this is why I suggest using the single scan to keep your emissions minimal. If you want complete stealth, ditch the MMA and use George. The FCR does not discriminate between live and dead targets. The range of a Lima missile is about 6 kilometers and has some obstacle avoidance properties. It can be fired from behind hills or buildings so long as you're a reasonable distance away. When using George does not know the MMA exists and will briefly fire the laser to get range on a target. Once the range is established, you can fire and continue on to the next target. That's pretty much it. Hope this helps somebody. Thanks for watching.